Hey, y'all, what's up? So, I am in disbelief. I don't know. 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 I just got done watching Raw. Like, I don't know. So, I missed the first 4 minutes because always I'm thinking, they're going to do recaps. Excuse my hair. It's been in 2 ponytails and I have short bangs. So, this part right here comes up. But, like, I missed the first part. They said something about Judgment Day comes in and Bron and them like go at it at the beginning. So, the Bills beat the Jaguars bad. Sorry, it showed up on my phone. It was my recap. So Liv and Dom comes in and they're talking about the last time she beat Bobby and the Terror Twins and all this other stuff. So all I remember is Liv actually being kind of bold. Her music played, which I haven't heard her music in a while. And then Rhea comes out and was like, calm down, I'm not trying to fight you. This, that, and the third. And she was like, well, Dom, since you still want to be in all of this, I talked to Adam Pearce and you're going to be in a cage above a shark tank or a shark tank cage. I don't know. Child, I don't know. And then I think somebody said the last time that's happened, I think they said it was Carmelo and Oscar or something like that. In Extreme Rules. But I was like, that's going to be crazy. Some of the stuff that's happening at Bad Blood, if we still had, well, Hell in a Cell doesn't have to be a whole thing because they can make certain bets on themselves. But like, if we had Extreme Rules this year, I guess Bad Blood could fill in for that. That would be what I was getting. Excuse me, I'm tired. So then after that, she was like, I took everything from you. I took this. I'm getting my title back, whatever. So then, it was like, Rhea was like, I changed my mind. And then she had Butts Live. And then her music plays and she goes on about her way. And people are like, she doesn't have her crutches. Or maybe she has a boot on. I was like, I don't think she had crutches on last Monday. No, I don't think she had crutches on last Monday. So then, Ludwig comes out. First, Sami's music comes out, which always makes... I love his music. It's just feel-good music. Like, I was having a bad day one day, and my son was watching clips of, like, old Bloodline stuff and stuff like that, and Sami's music played, and, like, my heart smiled. Like, literally, like, the endorphins in my brain. Like, he literally has, like, 90s feel-good music. It's literally feel-good music. So he comes out, Ludwig comes out, them two are wrestling each other, and I'm like, I honestly thought Sami was going to lose because I'm like, Ludwig has Gunther, okay, and who knows what's going to happen, just like last week when they had a conversation and Ludwig attacked Sami. But at the same time, I'm like, Ludwig has Gunther, but Gunther is not one of those leaders that is going to interfere in someone's match. Like, he's one of those people that I expect you to be as good as I am, okay? And you gonna handle this by yourself. Like, he very much gives that, okay? So, Ludwig handles his own, though. He does handle his own. All I could think about is, like, Chris Lemley when Tiff did her interview with him, and I just saw a clip. I didn't watch the whole interview yet. But she was talking about, like, he was asking about dating her, and she was like, he's so serious. She was like, he's a total goofball. And I was sitting there like, I can't see that. Not because of like him being with Gunther and stuff like that, but I'm like, he personifies like his character so well. I can't see that. And because I guess he's not a gamer and stuff, so I haven't seen him like up, down, down, or I think I've seen him in like one or two of her TikToks. I think. Yeah. I did see him on like one or two of her TikToks, and I was like, he's kind of funny. But it was like kind of, I think, like dry humor, kind of like KO has. Um, so when she said that, I was like, I can't see it. But now I'm thinking about it, I was like, I can't see it. But Sami ended up winning. So Gunther comes out in full gear, which he still, to me, I think I might change my mind. He still has one of the best entrances, and it's so clean with the lasers and stuff. Comes out full gear, tied around his belt. So I'm like, does he have a match tonight, or he probably was in a dark match or something, or has a dark match or whatever? And he was like, I seen enough. You want to do all this? I've seen you beat Ludwig, this, that, and the third. And he was like, how about we handle it tonight? And the crowd's like, yeah. And he was like, I'm still saying no. I'm like, not you come out here patronizing like that, man. Like, that's terrible, but it's hilarious. So then New Day has a whole thing. Woods has this whole thing, and people think Woods is going to turn on Kofi. I honestly think it's going to be the other way around. Like, I think it's going to be Kofi that's going to turn on Woods. And I think it's because at first I had a different reason. But after tonight, I think it's because he's going to get tired of Woods and his attitude. Like, they were talking to somebody. Oh, he was trying to, like, make it up to him by bringing, like, back old, like, New Day stuff with, like, the horns and, like, the bootios. And then he had the pancakes. And the dude had pancakes on him. He was, like cutting. He was like, no. And he was, like, basically he's going to get better, stuff like that. And he was like, we've lost every single match. Just that and the third. And I'm like, to Kofi's defense, okay, a lot of that, yes, he should have communicated to you like that y'all was going to have help and stuff with these matches. But with a lot of these matches, it was not his fault that you guys lost. Like, the refs weren't doing what the refs are supposed to be doing. And then there was a lot of interferences in these matches. So you can't really blame, like, Kofi for, but from what your point of view, and if you don't watch it back, of course you're going to blame Kofi for that whole situation. And then, so then it ends up being like Liv calling the shots because Carlito has a match with, Carlito has a match with, Dragon Lee. Fun, because she was talking about how they need to handle LWO and this, that, and the third. And then on their way out there, JD sits there and talks junk to Dragunov, which I miss seeing him wrestle. And I was like, y'all gonna stop playing with my mans. Like, he not out here and can't fight and beat all of y'all. So, of course, it's another rematch with Carlito and Dragon Lee. Of course, not the New Day. The Judgment Day comes out and does their thing. And who was it? Oh, Ray ends up coming to Dragon Lee's aid. And Dragon Lee ends up winning. Dragon Lee has one of my favorite entrances too. So then they show like the playback of, the whole thing with with Roman and Cody Rhodes. And I'm not really listening. I'm in and out. I've been in and out this whole show because I was kind of out of it. And then I had to make dinner, like, for my son, make sure he took a shower. And then, like, towards some of it, I was putting him to bed. And every time we go to bed, we, like, does his allergy stuff. He gets postnasal drip. So we have to, like, flush him out with a neti pot. And then we read stories. And then he says his prayers. And we do the hugs and kisses and all that. So it makes sure his alarm clock is on for school. And then I got back to So I missed like quite a bit of it. But the first part, up until like the Dragon Lee and Carlito part, to me seemed long. Like I was watching, I was like, we're only an hour and some change in. Like it was slow progress. It was a lot, but it seemed like it was slow progressing. And I think it's because I don't know. So then, yeah, they end up winning. So then, I'm having discoloration on my neck. Like my skin is weird. I don't know. Like at one point in time in my life, I've never had eczema, and now I have it like in the inside crease of my arm. And then I had a reaction like, and it only right here on my neck, which was weird. And I've never had. And the only time I've had discoloration outside of that was when I was pregnant with my son, and I'm definitely not pregnant. I know that, which is like, it's just weird how much your body changes. How like you can use a product for your whole life, and even if they don't change the ingredients on the product, one day your skin is like nope. Or you can eat something forever and then your body's like nope. And I've known a lot of people that do that. Like they were like, I've been eating beef or burgers or chicken or whatever. And he was like, my body just decided one day, he was like, no, and now I'm vegan. I was like, wait, what? But now I 100% get that. Because I'm like, I don't do nothing out the ordinary. I haven't done nothing out the ordinary. So what is happening with my skin? Like, this is crazy. And I don't use like, I'm not really a scenty type person because of my allergies with like flower smells and stuff like that and pollen and stuff. It makes my allergies. So if it's not like a cookie smell or like a musk, have a musk type perfume or candle or something like that, like I don't do it. Like even with I don't do scented soaps. So like if I do Dove, it's like the unscented. If I or what, I mainly do like Dow Safeguard. And like my skin is acting weird. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. I'm gonna be like the Quakers soon and be making my own soap after a while, and this is crazy. But then it ended up being like, so then I left and I came back and it was the Miz in his gear. So I was confused because I was like, what is happening, right? And he was like, I'm about to fight Bron. He said Bronson Reed, and he was like, basically, Braun Strowman told him not to fight him, and Karrion came up was like, you could be like, you don't have to be big to be a monster. There are different type of monsters. And I was like, that's true. And then I was like, something happened. I was like, and then after he did his little bit with Miz before Miz went out there, I was like, I like Karrion. I don't know how they're going to market him any further than now, but I like him. And I don't know if it's him not selling the what he's doing, or if it's like a slow, gradual situation. Because for a while, the New Day had a couple matches, but it wasn't like storyline based. But now it's been storyline based, and I'm like, see how quickly we jumped into a new storyline. We added one to Raw, and I'm like, we could do that with Karen, but I'm like, what would be the story? I don't know. So, um, I'm looking on the Raw recap. Okay, so Raw only had on the emails, because I don't check the emails, because SmackDown shows matches on the email that they have not talked about last week on TV. And if you don't have like social media or don't use it that much, you would be lost if they announce it on social media as well. So like Raw right now only had like Wrestlemania tickets go on sale October 25th, which I'm excited about because I've been waiting for these tickets to come on sale. Like, I already booked and paid for my room. They have Drew McIntyre. The whole situation is Sami versus Ludwig. Then underneath they have Jey Uso shirts, Yeet, and all that. And then they have Braun Breaker versus Jey Uso. So that's good. So then the Miz goes out there to fight Braun. So I leave and I come back, right? And I see, I think the Miz getting upset at Braun Strowman or outside the ring or something like that. I don't know what happened. Or the Miz just being upset. And then Bronson being out there. Then Braun Strowman being out there. I don't even think the bell rung. And them two fighting each other. Then, of course, Pierce is going to send out all of these security guys. I'm like, I don't know why he be putting these men's lives in danger. Okay? I say that because like I said before, Braun Strowman could pick up a car. Okay? You know how much a car costs? So him dealing with 10 men ain't going to do nothing to him. And he was, the America's strongest man, like twice or something like that, and entered the world's strongest man competition. And then Bronson is big, okay? His background is like him being King Kong, I want to say. That's what I want to say. So them two get into the ring. Then Pierce doing like this against the ring. He send more men out. And I'm like, Pierce be stressing himself out sometimes. I was like, I know that's probably the persona of his management. It's hilarious, but I'm like, you guys sometimes be like Nick. Be like, I ain't about to do all this with you. Okay? Y'all gonna do this and y'all not gonna do this. 'Cause I'm like, he get disrespected every Monday. Every Monday he get disrespected. Somebody say something or do something he don't like to be causing him to stress out. Okay? So then they was like, they had separated them, and then they were saying they're having a last man. Then was it next Monday? Last monster standing match. That needs to be the first match of the night, so they could have 20-25 minutes to get that out the way. And then production, okay? Y'all did that, okay, with the whole thing when it showed them two looking like King Kong Godzilla, and then his face turning into, I think, King Kong. I think Braun Strowman's did. I mean Godzilla's, because like I said, Bronson's interest always makes him look like King Kong. I'm like, that's gonna be good, because I said last week, I was like, this is gonna cause injury. I need to just have one more match at a PLE or something and let them go about their business. And it's funny because I was like, I want Braun Strowman versus Bronson Reed, or Braun Strowman versus Braun Breaker, or Bronson Reed versus Braun Breaker, or a triple threat. And a lot of people was like, ooh, that's going to be cook. And then somebody's like, you trying to kill them. It's some months ago. But a lot of people weren't on board. And they were saying, like, in the comments and stuff, they was like, I wasn't, like, basically seeing the vision. I couldn't get with it, this and that, third. They was like, and I can't wait for next week. Okay? Just saying. So then Sheamus, I think, talked to Jackie Redmond in the background and was talking about how people don't want him to call him Butch. Everybody want to come. He was like, I want to be done with Pete. Like, I want this to be over with. And then I was looking at the posters in the back. I was like, is that Peter Maivia poster standing behind him? And it was like other WWE legends. And I was like, that's crazy. And then not like crazy, like, and I was like, if they put that up there, if that was already up there prior to them being there, that's awesome. If WWE put that up there, because of course it's WWE, that's cool too. Because I'm like, it's only a select people on. I don't think it was only like 3-4 posters up there. But after that, later on, I think in the show, Pete ended up beating up Sheamus or something like that. And I was like, now you got this beef with Sheamus. I think he's still trying to beef with Trick on Tuesday. I did not watch it, even though I said I was going to Friday. I did not watch, so I don't know what the stipulation with that is. But I was like, Pete, because Pete has always been like someone that's like, hit first, ask questions later. Him being solo by himself, it works. Now, I liked him with Tyler, but Tyler's going to be out because I think he turned towards ACL. So he's going to be out for the next, 9-10 months. And depending on the trajectory of the stories that Pete is in, they might put Tyler with someone else when he come back. But I don't know if this is going to be a thing like a one-all, be-all, or is it going to continue like Carmelo and Andrade, or what the deal is going to be with Pete and Sheamus. That's going to be interesting. You know what's also interesting about that is that Ridge left Pete in the Brawling Brutes. Then he did his thing with Chase U. Now he's like fighting them. And they cross paths, I think, in NXT, and they don't even acknowledge each other. Or have they crossed paths? Like, have they? I don't know. Let's see my big clock. But, oh, my son's umbrella. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they cross paths or not. So, I just thought about that. So then Drew McIntyre comes out and does his promo. And then his interest, everybody's interest now has laser lights. So that must be the new thing with the new SmackDown, with the new announcers and all that, which we transition into the cinema Triple H era or whatever. But I don't like Bron's entrance. And I liked it before because I've been to a live show. The last one I've been to was in March. And he's always had the yellow lights, but he's had the pyro and stuff on each side of it when he used to have his sword. But he's never had the lasers. So now that they added the lasers, it contrasts with the yellow light. And I don't know if that's because I'm watching it on TV or if I'm watching it or if that's live situation. Like if it's live, they might got to tweak that a little bit. Because it was like, when they showed the light and then it hit the yellow and it was like a lot for someone that's looking like up close. Like don't have like epilepsy or migraines or something like that. That's what I was getting. Like if you paid attention to that too much, it could mess you up. When did I get bit on my foot? Like, this is why winter is my favorite season, because everything dies. Trees die, no pollen. Mosquitoes die. I mean cold winter, not winter where it's supposed to be winter and we're still 50, 60 degrees out. And then we get like snow and Christmas and all that, because I can't. And then, so he's talking about CM Punk and stuff like that, and he was like, your sisters and stuff want you to be done with it. He was like, my wife wants me to be done with it, basically for my mental sanity and stuff like that. And he was basically like, I see you there, basically. Somebody's dying, metaphorically. So we don't know who, okay? Hopefully it's a good enough match, as much as the build-up was. I feel like Drew might not been into the promo today. Or maybe it was just me because I'm a little tired. But I was like, that was not his favorite. And I'm like, I haven't seen him on my timeline on Twitter really trolling like he normally does. So, that's been interesting. I've seen a lot of Naya's stuff trolling on my Twitter. On my Twitter. So then I left And I came back and I saw Unholy Union versus Damage Control, and I was like, is this for just a regular tag match, or is it like a tag for a contender match, or what are we doing? So first, Kyrie, I saw what was Aladon versus Kyrie in the ring, and then it cut to a commercial. I'm loving this, like I said prior to, because when they had Unholy Union SmackDown, like I said last year, they drafted them. We only seen them twice on TV. And when they first got drafted, I was like, this is the wrong show for them. And I said that because for the past 2 years, a year and a half, to me, in my opinion, the women was carrying Raw. Okay? Meaning that the men's storylines were great and good. But if it wasn't for the women, like Bianca with Damage Control, and then like Rhea ended up joining the Judgment Day, and then like the situation with like Raquel and Liv being the tag partners. Like, we had a bunch of tags. And then we ended up having like Maxine and Ivy, and we ended up having Tegan and Natalia, and then we had Chelsea and Sonya before Sonya got injured, and then that's how she ended up with Piper. But like, it was so many different groups of women that could fight and stuff like that. So if we didn't have Damage Control, we had like tag matches, singles matches, stuff like that. So if the men's stories got stale, the women were carrying it. And a lot of times they were better, in my opinion, because some of the PLEs like Survivor Series and the Money in the Bank and Wrestlemania, like the matches were better. So like when they were on SmackDown, when they got drafted to Raw this year, I was like, oh, thank God. Like, thank goodness, okay? And then Damage Control's back on Raw. So, but yeah, so they were trying to get Kyrie's eye. And I honestly thought, I knew today was her birthday, but I thought she was going to lose, because I'm like, it's been times where we've been to like Canada, I think Natalia fought on her, or was at work on her birthday. And another time we were in Canada. On her birthday, I don't think we were in Canada, but I'm just saying 2 different instances, and she's lost both. And they always say it's the hometown curse or the birthday curse. When it's your birthday, you're in your hometown, what you claim to be your hometown, you lose. So they end up winning. But when EO got in the ring, she was on fire, okay? She was knocking everybody out, doing the daggone kick-ups, all this other stuff. And I'm like, okay, get it, girl. Like, she done got the confidence back after beating Bianca, okay? I don't think they said Bianca has lost a singles match outside of losing, qualifying for Queen of the Ring. Like, but I'm like, low-key, Bianca ain't had that many singles matches this year. Oh, not since April. I don't think. Since WrestleMania, I think her and Jay has been paired up. So the past like 5-6 months, she hasn't had that many. And then yeah, so that was a good match. The girls was a good match. So I was like, is the next match gonna be like them, Damage Control versus Unholy Union versus Pure Fusion Collective? They picked 2 of them out of 3, or what? And I honestly do not like that name. Then during the New Day, when Kofi was trying to get Woods together, Chad came up there with American Made, and I like how Ivy had one red cornrow and one blue cornrow to show American Made. And people were like, oh, I like that gear, and people were like, it's too American, and other people was like, it reminds them of Kurt Angle. And I was like, well, of course, if that's like his idol, but to me, it reminded me of American Gladiators. Not just because of the gear, but because of how statuesque and like muscular they are. It's very much given American Gladiator, and you had to get to certain areas before the person on American Gladiator worked there in that star outfit either knocked you down or passed you. Like, you had to, for those that are like millennials, Gen X, Boomers. Y'all remember that show. And then it was before Wipeout, way before Wipeout, or what's that other show people be knowing? American Ninja Warrior. It was before those two shows. And Wipeout was just a copy of the version that came out in Japan. They used to have and playing at like 2, 3 in the morning on TBS. And speaking in Japan and like translating Japanese and translating at the bottom. And it was funnier, in my opinion. But yeah, so then the New Day end up, so I go somewhere else again, and the New Day ends up fighting American Made. And I don't know what happened. I think they said Kofi got the tag from Woods, like literally, and the ref wouldn't let him in. So I'm like, here come the you suck chance. I'm like, ref, like what is happening? So then Kofi's over there, Woods is over there getting beat up. Cheap shots taken and stuff like that. Kofi gets in the ring, ends up doing like a trust fall at the top of the ring. I'm like, what is happening? And then once they got Woods, it got so many mosquito in here. Once they got Woods at the top of Julius's shoulders and Brutus did his bruise ball, I said, that's it right there. I said, they lost that. I said, I wonder how Woods feel. So they showed later how Woods is upset, and he's taking out everyone, and he's basically like, now we understand why you couldn't get through to your son Dom and stuff like that. And Ray was like, I ain't got to give you no advice, basically. He's like, I can save this for Finn. So then he was like, oh, you want to say something because you're a champ, and Kofi's a champ, and who else used to be a champ? Then he said Finn or something like was the champ. He was like, and I ain't had no singles run, and this, that, and the third. And I was like, what? Like, I was confused. And Kofi was like, you need to calm down. He was like, no, you don't see it. We're all trying to get it. And I'm like, I understand the frustration. First, you were frustrated because you thought Odyssey with Jones was trying to take over Big E's spot, which I understand. Then it was like you was frustrated because you're trying to relive the glory days, but that is gone. Y'all are on the other side probably of your prime, or you're probably dropping down the peak of the prime thing, the heel. Like if the heel's up here, your prime, you might be dropping down like a little bit. Then I'm like, then you blaming it because all of the people that you're talking to used to be world champions. Like, that's not their fault. They used to be world champions and you didn't get to be world champions. They not upset because you was king of the ring. Like, that's crazy. Like, I'm like, okay, what was at this point? Then I was like, if Kofi turns on him, which I think if the two are they're going to have a turn, it will be Kofi, in my opinion. I was like, it'll be because he tired of the Woods. He's tired of the complaining. He's tired of trying to prove that they're not losing on purpose or any of that. So I'm like, he's tired, which I totally get. I totally get that. Because if it was me, I'd be tired of hearing you complain to it too. Like, I'm going to hear you vent once, maybe twice. But after that, you either going to fix it or you going to shut up. Like, I don't want to hear it no more. Especially if that's all you talk about every time we have a conversation. Like, we gonna have to do something about this, or you just gonna have to vent to somebody else because I don't want to hear it. Like, I'm just saying. So Ray was like, well, forget that. Finn could wait since you want to pop off at the mouth. Me and you gonna fight next week. And I was like, okay, oh snap. So now next week's supposed to be him and Woods, and then another match is supposed to be Kofi versus Chad, which is gonna be a good match. So I'm waiting for that. And then Damian Priest did his promo about Finn, talking about they used to be brothers. We brought you in the Judgment Day. I shed a tear when Rhea became world champion. You just stood there looking. And then basically when I became champion, you was jealous. And like, I'm no longer my brother's keeper and this, that, and the third. So I forgot what the stipulation, what kind of match they were having, if they were having a regular match or not. But I was like, that was pretty cool. Then they had like a Wyatt promo situation, which I didn't do the QR code for. So then it would end up being this is very short because I'm very tired. It ended up being Jay versus Bron Breaker. And a lot of people, they like, want Jay to win, of course. But because of history and how history has been, I didn't see him winning. I thought that either because in the past, every time he's gone for a title, one of the people of the bloodline has messed it up. So I thought it was going to be like either Judgment Day was going to come and interfere because he's come in and helped out Mommy a couple times, or worst case scenario, like the bloodline was going to come and try to interfere, which would add him back to their fold of that story, that situation. So then he comes out, Mike gives him new gear, and I was like, and he got a new haircut. I was like, he got the little jump on the side. Okay, let me show you. So Mike did his thing. He changed his gear and stuff like that. He has the light blue and the pink, which I hate that blue. And it's not because, it's because it gives me Carolina, and I'm not a Carolina fan. I'm very much a Duke fan. But in these shoes I'm about to show you are terribly dirty. But I was like, if I get a Yeet shirt, now clean these shoes. These are real old. I could wear them with these because I got these a long time ago. And I don't even wear Jordans. Someone bought these for me about 14 years ago. And I was like, I could wear these. Right? Because they the same colors. Because I was like, I've been saying for the past 2 weeks, I was like, I got shoes to match his merch. And them are the shoes. But, yeah, so then before they start, he came out, he was like, hey, I'm using, I was like, part of me still gets upset because I'm a little tiny bit jealous because I'm like, he didn't come down that way when we went to Raw, and my son would have lost his mind. Like, my son was at the end, and when I tell you, he is one of the biggest Jey Uso's fans. Like, he has a Yeet shirt. We go to the live events. He has the thing. I think he changed his password to like Jey Uso for something. On his laptop. Yeah, that's cool. His password is Jey Uso. And then for Google in the background, like, I didn't know you could change the background for Google because I don't really be caring like that. He has Jey Uso doing this. And I'm like, and every time he hears the music, and he could be all the way upstairs, he'll run downstairs and start yeeting. I'm like, so, yeah. So they were, before that, when they were showing signs though, y'all it's some artists out here, okay? Because the person that did, was it last week when someone had drew, who was it? They drew Roman or CM Punk or something like that. And I was like, they did good. And then today, someone drew, like, did the best in the world thing. But the Yeet glasses with the Yeet on it, I was like, that's creative because I don't think I've ever seen that before. I love that the signs are coming back because when I was little in Attitude Era, the signs was a huge thing. And I was like, I want to go, when I was younger, like, I want to go to one of these shows and hold up a sign and stuff like that. Not knowing I actually been to a couple shows. And the signs is cool when people are coming out and you're standing there. And this is we were little, so it was pre-cell phone. So you standing there, you just take it in the moment. But you standing there and holding up your sign, and then after they come out, do you sit down? But that's about seat etiquette. Some people don't sit down. They stand up the whole match. And because they stand up, you got to stand up. And that's why I would never get floor seats then. Like, never get floor seats. Now, see, like, if it was a concert, maybe. And I've gotten lucky with comedy show floor seats before. But I've always liked sitting up on a ramp, close enough where I could see, close enough where I'm close enough I could see with my like glasses, and I ain't gotta look up at the thing. But also, like, if people are standing up stuff because we're like this, I'm not struggling to be like, hey, I can't see. Can you? If someone's in front of me, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've always gotten, like, if my son and I were ever to get floor seats to something, I would have to be in like the first row, maybe second. That's it. I ain't going no further back. The next seats I want to get, to be honest with you, because I've sat in the cut by production. I've sat in the middle on the like ramp thing. I've sat by like where Jay and them come out. I've sat like in the middle. I honestly want to sit behind the commentators. That's seats I want to get next. And like the first row behind the commentators, only not to be on camera. I don't care about that. But I want to know if I could hear them while I'm watching like the matches and stuff, while they're commentating the matches for live TV. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I could hear them while I'm at the live thing, like, that'd be the icing on the cake for me. If I can't and I get the seats anyway, I'm just like, I just enjoy the show. I know better for next time. Like, yeah, so he comes out. So they talk about with Braun Breaker earlier when he did his promo, and someone was like, he has wolf nipple a wolf nipple shirt. I was like, what is that? And it was like, because the dog's eyes fit like on his chest where his nipples are. And I was like, that is crazy. Okay. And people are like, I want to see Braun Breaker versus Jacob fight too. And I was like, I've been saying that. I was like, it's a list of people. I want Jacob to fight. Okay. Speaking of Jacob, no disrespect to one of the legends of the Unholy family, but Rikishi, some people sometimes just don't need a mic and they might need to cut their mic off. And love him. He's like a legend in the game, okay? But you don't need, and it's not just him. Sometimes like with like the Bubba Ray and them podcasts and all that other stuff, and Booker really hasn't said anything that I disagree with, to be honest. And I don't really, his podcasts don't come across my YouTube when I be having it as background noise just cause. But some stuff just don't need to be said. Like, I get your concern for him being in the storyline with Rhea because he's married. Like, I get that. She's married too. But that's also no reason for them to have a storyline together because they're both married. Because married people cheat too. So I get that. But then, and then you saying something about when they had mentioned Jacob going straight to main roster, and he was like, no, he think he should do NXT and come on up because Solo did it. I hear what you're saying, but everybody's path is not the same. Also, I feel like you're saying it because you're going to show, of course, a little bit of bias and favoritism because that's your son versus your nephew. And then they were saying something like, he said something like, he's getting pushed too soon. I'm like, what do you mean he's getting pushed too soon? Okay? Your son was in NXT for a year before he came up to main roster. That's very much like, that was accelerated, okay? Jacob came straight to the main roster. Rightfully so. Because when someone said that and was like, oh, he gonna be mad when he becomes world heavyweight champion. And I was like, but he should be. Not in a sense like, or he should be mad, but in the sense that Jacob should be. And I was like, to be honest with you, I said, in my opinion, he's the best wrestler in the family of this generation. Period. I was like, have you seen his independent shows? I was like, he's very much ready. He's very much like, they might have to fine tune him because you can't cuss like that on WWE. And some of the moves he do will put some of these people in the hospital, some wheelchairs. But I'm like, outside of that, he could be world champion tomorrow. Okay, if they wanted him to be. Like, I don't understand what the problem is. He does promos real well. His cousin took like one of the promos the past week. He wrestles like hell. His wrestling skills is crazy. Okay? And I don't care what nobody say. Them rings like in GCW, MLW, so like they seem harder than the ones they got at WWE. Okay? Like, I think even if he would have went to Japan, if he hasn't, because I can't remember. Even if it's on match or two. When Japan or Mexico, like, he'd have killed there too. Like, there's not an area I think that Jacob could have went to in any of wrestling and not did what he did. Like, he is beyond talented. So for him, it's like he's pushing him too fast. He has a skill set. It's not like, no shade, is Zilla, who just came out and might be great at wrestling, but probably needs work on promo skills. I don't know. I haven't heard him talk on the mic. I just only seen him wrestle. Oh no, I'm lying. I heard him talk like once on the mic. And then we try to like push him. Then we'd be like, okay. Even he said he's not ready or he doesn't think he's ready. But like, Jacob's a whole different story. And yes, out of this generation, Roman is the idealist because he came up with the whole bloodline thing and stuff like that. Very much strategic, very much like his mind and stuff. And the Usos are the Usos, like the heart of the bloodline, like KO say. But Jacob is a different beast. That's a different beast. Oh, then when they showed Roman and Cody thing again, like I was saying, I was like in and out of it, like I said, but then I was like, if KO go heel, I'm like, this gonna be the reason why he go heel. I'm like, you aligning yourself with someone that out of all of y'all, KO I think has fought with the longest. Because they were showing on Twitter, somebody had posted all these rivalries, and it was like Rock had Austin, Stone, Undertaker had Kane, Triple H had Shawn Michaels, John Cena had Randy. It was like, who does Roman have? And people were saying Cody, and a lot of people were saying Brock and Seth. And I said, I'm going to go way, way left field here. I was like, KO. Nobody responded, though. Because I was like, I think Kevin was fighting Roman before Brock was fighting Roman. It might not have been for titles all the time, but like they've been fighting for a minute. Okay? Like Cody just came into the picture a year and a half ago. So they ain't, and now they about to line themselves together. Like they ain't really know. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, Seth, okay, Shield, the whole betrayal thing, yeah, I see that. But I'm like, and I don't know. But I was like, I'm gonna go. So Bron comes out. They do their thing. Bron in the tail go knock out Jay. And then sit there beside him and do a couple push-ups. And I said, I know. I said, not him knocking somebody out and doing the push-ups. So then after that, I think Jay did some move and tried to pin him. He kicked out. You get audience. The whole thing goes blank. So I think he hit him with like a right. Jay hit. Bron did something. Like he moves so fast and he's so strong. He hit, I forgot how he hit Jay, but then he flew himself over the announce table and hit the barricade. And I'm like, God dang, like how fast are you? So then I think he hit him with a spear, tried to hit him with a spear, and he kicked out. So then he tried to do it again. Jay had super kicked him. And my eyes are real heavy. And then he speared him through the barricade. And then we both ended up back in the ring. I forgot what happened, but Jay ended up Uso splashing him, and then he pinned him. And when I tell you, for like the last 2-3 minutes of before everything went off, I was sitting there like this. And then before that, when Sam announced it, she looked phenomenal, by the way, and she really wears her hair down. I don't know if that was flared out pants or if it was a skirt, but it was cute on her. And Carrie always loved her hair, and yeah. But speaking of looks, and like I said, Jay, I was like, I knew he was should have known he was gonna win because he had a whole different gear, and then he had the little mohawk, but instead of the mohawk, he had a little junk with the design. My son had that a couple years ago. So I was like, he got new gear, new hair. Like, pay attention to stuff like that. You gonna know. You gonna know something about to pop off, whether they win or whether it's gonna be like a loss and somebody's gonna interfere real bad. You could tell, I think, sometimes by like the hair and the gear. Like when looking back on WrestleMania, when I'm looking at like tweets and stuff with Cody, and somebody said, "Oh, my man Roman about to lose," and he was like, "How you about to lose?" He said, "Cody came out here with Brandy and with a mask on," and I said, "I ain't paying that no attention." And then, and the funny part is, I had tweeted about the start of WrestleMania before that night, and I was like, "Oh, they changed the theme of WrestleMania," because when he comes out and he goes, "Acknowledge me," and I was like, "He don't say acknowledge me in this one." Ain't paying no attention. I'm just tweeting. I said, now I'm sitting here thinking about him like, because he lose. I was like, okay. So like subtle stuff like Jay's hair, Jay's gear, stuff like that, and the change of his shirts, I think might have been the start. Okay. And then the fact in the email, underneath the email, it has all Jay Uso stuff. Like, literally, I just looked at the email for like what's going on tonight, and then underneath it has WWE Shop, it has Jay Uso down there, and it has his shirts and stuff. Get gear. So I'm like, something about to go down, like his finger, his yeet finger, his glasses, his shirt. So I'm really like that, and then chills rushed through my body, and I almost had a tear in my eye, and then like I smiled, and I'm like, I'm in disbelief, but I'm happy for him at the same time because I didn't think he was going to win, to be honest with you, because he's got interfered in so much. And then it's weird how much stuff has changed and life has changed, because 5 years ago when they was in Brooklyn for Kofi Mania and they was doing an interview with Chris, and they were like, "Have you ever seen yourself as a solo performer?" And both of them said no. And they was like, "We always gonna be tag team." And the dream match was to fight each other at WrestleMania, and maybe their dad be the ref, which they should have dragged that story out a little better. I felt like the match would have been better. They'd have dragged it out because they're twins. They've been together their whole life outside of them marrying and having separate lives out of marriage. But even doing that Friday through Monday is different. And you know what I'm liking too about this is when I always go and look at like look on the website to see if they're coming to like near me or city. Is last year and the last 2 years I'm watching, 2.5 years I'm watching, even Fridays and Saturdays they've been booked. So they'll go like here, drive somewhere else on Sunday, then go home for the people that's on SmackDown, and then the Raw people will come, fly in, I guess Saturday, drive somewhere Sunday, and then do Monday Night Raw, whatever. It's like now every other weekend they do house shows instead of every weekend, which I like because they get to spend more time at home with their families. Like, I love that for them. I really do. Because that road thing situation could get down. It got you down bad. And then I'm like, when you have someone that's in charge that's been there as far as the wrestling part, and now he's also a family man, Triple H, like he gets both aspects of it. Like he gets the business part of it. But WWE is so up right now that y'all taking off every other weekend. Y'all still gonna make profit and money. Y'all could sell tickets for $200,000. Somebody gonna buy them. They'll put their house on mortgage. They'll put their house up for some tickets. Okay, like that's how with the stories and stuff. That's how, you know what I'm saying. So but like I was like this. And then the crowd went up and they went crazy. And I was like, oh my God, like, I wonder how he felt. And I wonder, like, what his family thought. Because I'm like, he's the only one family member on Raw. Literally the only family. Like, he's close with the New Day. They all do up, up, down, down, and stuff like that. Because I was like, how's that transition? Like, he's the only member on Raw. He was close to Cody. They was champs for a little bit. They're gone. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, all his family's on Raw. Trinity's on Raw. Nia's on Raw. His brother was on Raw. The bloodline is on Raw. You know what I'm saying? So that's got to be surreal. But I'm like, now we got Yeet for the IC champion and Yeah for the US champion. So if they ever do Yeet versus Yeah again, that'll be interesting. But I don't know if I'm gonna watch Tuesday. I gotta watch last Tuesday. I'm tired. If not, I will see you guys Friday. Have a good week or a good day, because I don't know if I'm doing Tuesday or not yet. I'm about to take these out. I need to do my hair because it's a mess. Yeah, have a good night and be blessed because you are blessed. Love you all. Bye.